Hi guys, in today's tutorial I'll show you how to create a 3D Watch HUD using a simple and beginner-friendly workflow. I'll also provide the complete project file along with the video so you can follow along step by step. This tutorial focuses on the easiest way to achieve this animation, making the process clear and easy to understand. Let's get started. This is the footage of the watch, along with the recorded gestures and assets that will be used in this tutorial. Let's begin by creating the HUD. Ensure that no layers are selected, then choose the rounded rectangle tool and double-click it to create a new shape layer. Set the fill to solid color. Next click the color picker, and choose black. Finally, set the stroke option to none. Press S to adjust the scale and reduce the size of the shape layer to your liking. Then expand the shape layer properties and navigate to Contents, Rectangle 1, Rectangle Path 1. Increase the roundness value to round the corners. This is optional, and you can leave the corners sharp if that better suits your design. To keep the project organized, I will rename this layer to Main Shape. Next create a new solid layer. Name it Color, and ensure it matches the composition size, and click OK. Apply the gradient ramp effect to this solid. Set the start color to your desired color. I'll choose a light blue, and select a complementary end color, such as a light orange. To apply the gradient to the HUD, click Toggle Switches/Modes and set the Color Layers track matte to the Main Shape layer. You can now go to the gradient ramp effect and click Swap Colors to switch the blue and orange. You can also adjust the color positions to bring them closer together or move them farther apart. I won't spend time fine-tuning this here, so feel free to adjust the colors based on your preference. When you're satisfied, reduce the opacity of the Main Shape layer by pressing T and lowering the value. An opacity of around 85% works well. Before moving on to tracking, it's important to mark all hand gestures so we know precisely where the HUD animation should occur. The easiest method is to create a new adjustment layer. Place it above all other layers and rename it Gestures for better organization. The first hand movement begins here, where the swipe starts. Add a marker by pressing the asterisk key on your keyboard. Double-click the marker and name it Swipe in the comments, indicating where the swipe gesture occurs. Now move forward to the next hand gesture. At this point, I'm selecting something, so add another marker and label it Selection. Continue this process for all remaining hand movements throughout the clip. After marking all gestures, pre-compose the gestures, color, and main shape layers into one layer. Name the new composition HUD. Ensure Move All Attributes and Adjust Composition Duration are enabled, and confirm by clicking OK. Double-click the HUD layer to access the pre-composition, giving us a clean shape layer to work on. Begin by dragging in the assets, starting with the YouTube logo. Scale it down so it fits properly within the main shape. Scroll to the first swipe marker, the point where the first hand gesture occurs, since this is where we'll begin animating. Create a new null layer and name it Slider. Next import another PNG image and scale it appropriately. Press P to reveal the position property and adjust the X position to move the logo outside the main shape's frame on the right side. Select both the YouTube and Instagram layers and parent them to the slider layer using the pick whip. Select the slider layer and press P to reveal its position property. Changing the X or Y values will control both logos at once. To animate, position the playhead at the first swipe marker and click the position stopwatch on the slider layer to create a keyframe. Move 30 frames forward, hold Shift and press page down 3 times, then adjust the X position to move the Instagram logo into the main shape. Select both position keyframes on the slider layer and press F9 to apply Easy Ease. Open the graph editor, right-click, and select Edit Speed Graph. Adjust the curve to create a smooth animation, similar to mine. Preview the animation. While it looks good, the logos currently appear above the main shape. To fix this, select both the Instagram and YouTube layers, click Toggle Switches/Modes, and set their track matte to the main shape layer. Preview the video again. The logos now animate correctly inside the shape. With the swipe animation complete, we now focus on the next hand gesture, the selection. Stop at the selection marker and add a new asset, for example, the clip I recorded. Place the clip so it starts at the marker. Press the opening bracket key to align the layer with the playhead. Scale the clip to fit within the shape layer, then press P to reveal position and adjust the Y position so the clip begins outside the shape's frame. Parent the clip layer to the slider layer using the pick whip. On the slider layer, click the Add Keyframe icon for position, then scroll 30 frames forward. Adjust the Y position so the clip aligns perfectly within the shape layer. Open the graph editor and ensure the curve matches the first animation. If it doesn't, create the same smooth speed curve from the previous animation. To make the clip appear inside the shape, click Toggle Switches/Modes and set its track matte to the main shape layer. Preview the animation to confirm it looks correct. Next proceed to the following hand gesture. Import the next asset, another car clip, and place it at the next marker. Scale the layer down. For consistency, copy the scale value from the first clip and apply it to the new clip so both assets match in size. Press P to reveal position and move the X position to the right so the clip starts outside the frame. Parent the clip to the slider layer. On the slider, click the Add Keyframe icon, then move 30 frames forward. Adjust the X position to bring the clip fully into the center of the shape. Always ensure that each new layer's track mat is set to the main shape layer when added to the timeline. Once complete, switch back to the main composition and preview the overall effect. The animation is looking good so far. We'll handle the tracking at the final step. For now, switch back to the HUD composition. Press U to hide all keyframes, then select all animated layers, in this example, the 2 car clips and the YouTube and Instagram logos. Change their blend mode to overlay. This mode blends the colors and brightness of the animated layers with the underlying main shape, making the HUD look more integrated and visually appealing. Finally, we have the last gesture, the selection. Select the slider layer and press P to display the position property. Add a new keyframe, then scroll 30 frames forward and adjust the Y position to move all layers upward out of the frame. This completes the animations within this composition. In the main composition, navigate to the moment when the last car clip starts moving upward. Press T to reveal the opacity property and click the stopwatch to add a keyframe. Scroll 30 frames forward and set the opacity to 0%. Select both keyframes, apply Easy Ease by pressing F9, then open the graph editor and adjust the curve to create a smooth transition, matching the motion style used previously. With the animations complete, the final step is tracking. Move the playhead to the point where I start interacting with the watch. This spot works well, and split the POV layer. Select the right layer and click the track motion. Zoom in to clearly see the watch, enlarge the track point, and position it on the watch face. To improve tracking precision, I will slightly increase the size of the track point. Click Options, choose RGB, and enable Adapt feature on every frame. This ensures After Effects dynamically adjusts the tracking region for each frame, maintaining accuracy even if the object rotates, scales, or partially moves out of view. Confirm by clicking OK. Next, click Analyze Forward and wait for the tracking process to finish. While the video is being analyzed, I want to mention 16am film shake presets, created for speed ramp edits, cinematic edits, and more. Just drag and drop the presets, no plugins or extra installation required. Works seamlessly with Adobe After Effects on both Windows and Mac. After tracking is complete, create a new null layer. Then under the tracker, click Edit Target and assign it to the null layer. Click OK, then Apply, and confirm again with OK to transfer all tracking data to the null. After closing the tracking window, trim the null and HUD layers so they match the tracked portion of the footage. To attach the HUD to the tracked watch, parent the HUD layer to the null layer. Scrolling through the timeline will see that the HUD now moves in sync with the watch. Finally, adjust the HUD size, slightly reducing it, and position it precisely near the watch. I forgot one final step, animating the HUD appearance. Begin by adjusting the anchor point so scaling occurs from the desired location rather than the center. Select the anchor point tool and drag it downward. Navigate to the moment where interaction with the watch begins, set the scale to 0%, and add a keyframe by clicking the stopwatch. Move 30 frames forward and adjust the scale to the desired size, around 70% in this example. Select both keyframes, apply Easy Ease with F9, then use the graph editor to create a smooth scale curve. Preview the animation. You'll notice the scale now originates from the bottom, creating a smoother and more natural HUD animation. The final step is to enable motion blur on the HUD layer. Open the HUD pre-composition and activate motion blur for all internal layers as well. This completes the tutorial. Be sure to download the project file containing all the clips and assets I used. Please note that the project was created in After Effects 2025, so it may not open in older versions. All assets are provided via Google Drive, allowing you to follow along regardless of your software version. Thank you for watching, and remember to click the like button if you found this tutorial helpful.